Hey guys, my name is Dom and I'm going to show you my favourite spots to take photos at the Melbourne Grand Prix. So before I begin to show you my favourite spots around the track, it is important to tell you that it is quite difficult to photograph the cars around this track, mainly because of the fences, the high fences, and unless you're up high on a grandstand on the higher seats overlooking the fences, you're not going to get a clear shot. So you will be shooting a lot through the fences, and because of this you will need lenses that are at least 200mm to 300mm, even to 400. Now it states in the rules of entry that you're not allowed to use anything bigger than a 300mm, but there are ways you can get around this by pretty much just bringing a 2 times or 1.4 times adapter, which will double the length of the lens that you have. The longer length you have, the better it is, because shooting through a fence, what you need to do is you need to blur that fence out of the shot and focus on the cars in the distance. And using a longer lens can achieve this, and also it all depends on how close you are to the fence. The closer you are to the fence, the better. If you're a bit further back from the fence, it will be harder. Now unfortunately you will find that around a track, they are making it harder and harder and sort of pushing people more further away from the fence. So anyway, I will try and guide you as best as I can with the spots that I've been able to shoot at over the years. They have changed, obviously. There are some spots that have changed, but I would say that most of them are still there. These aren't in any particular order except for the last 3. The last 3 that I will show you are the best spots in my opinion. So the first spot I will show you is turn 3, standing in front of the fence, which is pretty much just in front of the hill grandstand. So what you're doing is you're shooting through the fence here. The cars pretty much coming in very quickly into the corner of turn 3, and then you'll get maybe a few of them going through just before they get to turn 4. So you'll get a couple of opportunities getting the car mainly through the corner, slowing down. You can probably get some good shots of them locking up going into turn 3, but it's mainly through the corner itself, and they are pretty slow. It's not too much big action happening here, but the car goes too fast into the corner, you might get a bit of action here. So this is turn 12. Through the fence you can take some shots from a couple of spots here. One spot that will look down as they approach turn 12, so you can get them coming towards you, and then the other spot is a bit further down on the left as they come around the corner, and you shoot through the fence here. After 9 and 10, the very fast 9 and 10 chicane, there is a spot here on the outside of the track near gate 9. You can shoot through the fence and get them coming out of 10. It is a bit difficult shooting through the fence here, but I really like the results here. And then if you walk down towards turn 11, you can get them coming through, flying through on the main straight, which is these shots here. Another spot I'd like to mention is up on the general admission hills. You can get some great shots of the cars speeding through the straights. So say for example, these particular shots here were taken in between turn 2 and 3 on the hill there, and you can also do the same thing on the back straight on the other side of the lake. After turn 7s and 8. So this is obviously using a very fast shutter speed so that you get the effect of the car's speed, and I absolutely love this effect. If you can, it's very difficult though, it is, because you are shooting through the fence again, and it's hard to get the cars focused and sharp, but sometimes you can get some great shots out of these. So there are two extra spots that I'd like to mention if you have access to these spots. So the first one is the pit lane walk. So if you have access to a pit lane walk, I think you can still buy them separately, and if you can, I'm not sure if they offer two, but if you can get two, that's great, because what I normally do is I use one pit lane walk to take wide angle shots, and then I use the other pit lane walk to use my prime zoom lenses and take more detailed shots, which you will see here. And the reason why I do it like that is because it gets so packed and so chaotic in the pit lane. You've only got like 20 minutes in there. They rush you really hard, so you got to quickly take your shots, and you don't really have time to use both lenses, and unless you've got two cameras, it's very, very difficult. So if you can do two pit lane walks and then use each one for each lens, these are the kind of results you'll get. The other extra is if you have a Paddock Club ticket, which will get you on top of the pit building. So as part of your ticket, you will have access to the rooftop viewing area. I've been here on a Thursday, and it's absolute gold for pit lane shots, because on Thursdays the teams practice their pit stops and you can get shots like this, and this was one of my absolute favorite photo opportunities that I ever got. And it's very difficult and very expensive to get these type of tickets today, but if you can, these are the kind of shots you can get. Another spot I'd like to mention is if you're sitting in either the Fangio or the now new Piastri section on the main straight, you'll pretty much have a good view of the podium. And so if you got a good enough lens, you'll be able to get some great shots of the podium. I was fortunate enough to get the podium a couple of times, and here are some shots that I took from them. This is a spot that is looking directly at 7, and you're kind of in the middle of 8. So you're shooting through the fence here, and the cars are coming straight towards you. And as you can see, if you can blur the fence out enough, you can get some great shots of the cars coming through, especially when they come in pairs or come together. And you can also get some nice close-ups as well, as you can see here in the photos. Now, if you're lucky enough to get a spot on the Brabham stand, that's great, but if you're a photographer like me, you want to be up high on this Brabham stand, and you want to be on the far right of the grandstand on the top, because you can get shots of the cars entering the first corner and then going through turn 2. And just next to the grandstand, you will notice the photographer's platform, which they shoot from, and it's the closest you can get to what they're shooting as well. So I love this shot. This is one of my favorite spots, and I love the shots that you can get from up high on a back row, right in the top corner. The next spot is turn 6. Now turn 6 is probably my favourite corner on the track. Even though they have made it wider and faster, I still think it's a great spot to watch the cars. They absolutely fly through there. And there's a whole range of spots here. You can go on the inside of turn 6, and you can also go on both the outside of turn 6. So the first spot being on the side of turn 6, so you'll have the car coming from your right and then going into the corner. That is a great spot to see the cars go through there from behind and see the amount of speed they take through that corner, which is incredible. And you can get some great shots of them exiting the corner and going over the curbs and all the sparks flying up, as you can see in the photos that I show you here. My absolute favorite spot is on the outside and looking directly towards turn 6, and also the entry into turn 6. You're looking down the road and you're watching them come towards you, towards the corner. I just love this spot because the corner itself is kind of embedded into the ground, and you can see here my shots that the gravel trap is a bit higher, and you can see the car, it's like it's sunk in, and I absolutely love that. And as I said, you can take a range of shots here. You can take them coming down towards the corner and then into the corner, and then after they've come out of the corner. So there's a good variety here. This is a spot inside turn 6. You can get the cars exiting turn 6 and going through 7 and 8, and it's mainly obviously rear shots of the car, but I like this because of the lines on the road. As you can see, I've used the lines of the road, and I like these shots. They were something different. This is for something different. I really like this spot as well. Now this final spot is without a doubt the best photographing spot on the Melbourne circuit. I don't care what anyone says, but it is the most difficult one to get because these days they're very strict on your seating and where you sit, and when you're there you have to be seated. You can't stand around anymore like you used to. So there is only one spot. I believe there is actually only one or maybe two seats in this exact spot that you can get. So it's so difficult. I haven't tried even to get it for a while. The last time I was there, I got a premium seat, and I stood actually on the side at the back of the grandstand. And even then, this was the first practice session. They told me that I had to take my seat, and I talked them out of it. I refused to go to my seat because I wanted to get these shots. So pretty much this is the Schumacher stand, on the end of the Schumacher stand, and the reason why this is so good is because you're up high and you have a clear view of the cars for a good while. So you have multiple shots that you can take, multiple views. You can pretty much get them from the exit of turn 12, so that you can get them exiting turn 12, and then you got a clear shot of them all the way through to turn 13, the hairpin, which is the slowest corner on the track, and then you get them halfway just exiting turn 13. So there's about 6 different photos you can take here, probably more. As you can see, you're going through my photos and you can see what you can get from this spot. And I've been shooting here for a while, but unfortunately it's become so difficult now that I don't think I'll be able to shoot there again unless I get lucky in the ticket sales and get that one seat that you can do it from, because they don't let you stand on the end anymore. So you have to have the seat that's actually on the end for you to be able to get that view. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did enjoy it, please like it and subscribe. Thanks guys.
Thank you.